Hi everyone, just a quick update. I continue to put out information about the Seth Rich case as it comes out, as I have been reporting since 2016. And shout out to the Gateway Pundit for continuing to follow this information, and Joe Hoft, who is reporting about what Ty Clevenger is saying about the Seth Rich information, the laptop, the thousands of pages of documents that the FBI and the Department of Justice have and they're refusing to release. And I do think that this ties into some more news, some recent news that we have seen about Representative Matt Gaetz and some of the accusations that he's facing right now. I think some of it could be retaliation for stuff that he has done in the past, as far as him not supporting PACs, him supporting Trump, and I don't agree with all of his policies. I took a look at some of his policies in Florida as a whole, but there's a lot of good things that I think that he was doing for the state and for his constituents, which have upset a lot of the establishment Democrats, and they're trying to push out anyone who continues to question the Mueller investigation, particularly. And then this ties obviously into the Seth Rich murder investigation, the Russia hoax, everything that happened in 2016 that dragged on for years and years. The FBI is again requesting delays in their lawfully required efforts to produce all documents in the Seth Rich case. This has gone on for years with no penalty to the FBI or DOJ. They get to it when they can. So the FBI again requests delays in the production of records in the Seth Rich case. So originally they said, well, we don't have his laptop, we don't have any records, we don't have any information. And now over the years, they've slowly had to admit, yes, we do have this information, we just don't want to reveal it. So pretty similar to what we're seeing with some of the attempts to recount ballots in the Dominion in the 2020 election. Today, the legal team, including Ty Clevenger, received a document from the FBI and DOJ where they made excuses and requested additional time to produce documents that had related to Seth Rich. They are now saying that they have at least 1,563 pages of potentially responsive information that they need more time to get through. So they're saying that they've had this information for years, and yet they just don't have time to get through it. Since defendants' previous motion to stay filed December 16th, 2020, the FBI has diligently reviewed over 20,000 pages that were initially located and identified by the FBI as potentially within the scope of the plaintiff's request. So this is people requesting the Seth Rich records. And the OIP has also reviewed tens of thousands of pages that were initially located and identified by OIP as potentially within the scope of the plaintiff's request. So they're saying that they need to keep looking at this information because while working through these administrative requirements, according to the FBI, and with the FBI's FOIA office working with only 50% staffing due to the CV-19, well, okay, they've had these records years before this latest operation here. The FBI began processing these approximately 1,563 pages in preparation for the potential release to the plaintiff or to return to OIP following consultation. The FBI will have processed nearly 500 pages for potential release on April 23rd, 2021. So they might have 500 pages, probably heavily redacted, by April 23rd. I'm not going to hold my breath. In December, after 4 years of stonewalling, the FBI finally admitted that they did have documentation regarding Seth Rich that they had not released. So this was a big article that, of course, Gateway Pundit continued to cover. After 4 years of stonewalling, corrupt FBI finally admits they're holding Seth Rich's laptop. So before we were told that we were crazy if we even mentioned the idea of a laptop that he had while he was working for the Democratic Party. Breaking. In a FOIA request, FBI says it never looked at Seth Rich's laptop in their possession for years. Does anyone believe this? So first they admitted that they had it, then they said, oh, well, we haven't even looked at it, and now with the FOIA request, they're like, well, it's 20,000 pages, and we're trying to get through 1,500, and we might get through 500. The Russia collusion sham was conjured up by Hillary Clinton only a few days after Seth Rich was murdered in Washington, D.C. Latest document done by DNI Ratcliffe shows Hillary camp likely hatched plot on Russia 2 weeks after Seth Rich murder and 4 days after the WikiLeaks release. So yes, we have to remember that all of this was meant to cover for all the WikiLeaks documents that came out. And as people within WikiLeaks have possibly suggested, Seth Rich was one of their confidential informants within the Democratic Party, providing information. The Mueller gang and James Comey and Rosenstein pushed the Russia sham, and yet they knew there was some evidence Seth Rich had interacted with WikiLeaks. Documents revealed in Seth Rich case indicate a federal investigator claims he saw and read emails between Rich and WikiLeaks. Instead, Mueller and the gang went on a multi-year fright fest attacking any person connected to the Trump team, and yet they knew Russia was a scam. Mueller never did ask WikiLeaks who was their source of emails released, but in 2016 related to the DNC, Mueller didn't want to know the answer because it wasn't Russia. So I think this is also why they're going after Matt Gaetz, is because of his seat, trying to get him off committees, but also Matt Gaetz to Mueller. You'll remember he attacked the Mueller investigation. Your team was biased and sought to stop Trump. So I just don't think it's about Trump. I think obviously they made it about Trump, but this is about a cover for the WikiLeaks information and everything that went on in 2016 and the murder of Seth Rich and others who were providing this information. So just wanted to share this. This is kind of what I think is going on with Matt Gaetz. And of course, we'll have to wait and see how this information comes out. But Matt Gaetz was one of the few people who was calling out the Mueller, quote unquote, Mueller investigation this whole time. So I just wanted to share with everyone. I am on Rumble. I did put the link in the show notes there so you can take a look at my new Rumble account. I have been locked out of my main YouTube channel. There was a video I did about 47 states changing their election voting ID laws and whatnot, and it was flagged as spam or disinformation or something like that. So I haven't appealed it. I'm just taking a week off. I think they've blocked me from uploading or anything for a week, and I think going forward I will probably just post links on there and not necessarily do straight up videos on there, because I prefer my channel not to be taken down, but they can just make up any sort of reason they want. I've got more than 1,000 videos up on there, so they can just pull it whenever they want. They could take it down for whatever reason, like they've done with so many people on YouTube. So I'm just going to use that main channel to advertise for my other channels now. So I've got a BitChute channel up as well. You've probably seen me promote that over the years. And then of course I've got my Patreon still. But I did sign up for a Subscribe Star account if you would rather use that. I'm waiting for that to get processed and approved. But I did sign up for that this week. Hoping to sign up for an Odyssey account too. I know some people said that they are on Odyssey, so I'm going to try to explore. I guess in a good way, me being blocked for my main channel has given me the opportunity to try to expand my other channels. So take a look at the Seth Rich information. Let me know what you think. And of course, shout out to Gateway Pundit for continuing to cover this. So I will talk to you soon. Love you guys. You can always reach me through snail mail or Zoon Politikon at mail.com. Bye-bye.